Well, that's an interesting topic they got me talking about. Actually, I got the memo last night. So I'm gonna do what Mark did, and I'm gonna ask, what do y'all want to talk about on this topic, and what kind of students we have in here, so I can cover just about everything instead of going off on a tangent. So the floor is open. We have, how many high school students we have? Say aye.
Aye.
Just one? Steven, you're a high school student. I know you over there back. Come on, bro. Come on, man. All right.
I said aye first.
All right, good. Cool. Hit. All right. How many college students we have? Say aye.
Aye.
Good. And how many center students we have?
Aye.
Okay, great. Okay.
And do we have any junior high or middle school students?
Me. Aye.
Who's that? All right, cool. All right, so what do y'all want to talk about as far as, let's start off with the high school sector. What are y'all most interested in this, with this?
Well, you were talking specifically about rehabilitation.
Yeah, rehabilitation, that's what I'm
Like
going to cover with them.
your
Yeah,
rehab
I'm going to cover with them. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So, I know you touched a little bit about the STEP program and 8 weeks and all that good stuff. Now I'm going to talk to you about how to get to this program, how to get accepted, how to advocate for your right to go, how to be persistent, all that good stuff with your counselor. So most of you that are in high school should, I'm going to say should because some don't, should have a LRS counselor. LRS stands for Louisiana Rehabilitation Services. Your counselor is like your go-to person to talk to if you want to go to the center for the adult program, if you want to do the STEP program, do college. That's like your go-to person because they're going to ultimately help, help you with the funding. So the first step is to have that counselor in place and keep in contact with your counselor. Be persistent and say like, hey, this is what I plan to do, okay? And let them know, like, for example, when I was doing the STEP program, I had Julie Russell. Now, some people don't know Julie Russell, some people do. And that's what I had at first. And the first thing that I did was I filled out my application for the STEP program. And I usually do, like, any application like that, I do it early, like in December-ish. That's when I did mine to go to the STEP program. And I was very persistent with my counselor. I came in contact, called the EG, make sure like, hey, did you receive my application? Are we all good to go? And I checked in with Julie, make sure that everything was good with my case. Make sure it's still active, we're on the same page. Because if you're not on the same page with your counselor, then things can not go so smoothly. So. I came in contact, I got accepted, we signed the plan. Now, how many of you know what a IPE is?
Yeah.
IPE, Individualized Plan of Employment. Okay. Most of y'all might say, what is that? What is the Individualized Plan of Employment? I'm not going to work. That IPE is your plan that tells, basically it says what you're doing, it says like that you're going to the STEP program or, LCB, I don't remember how they write it out. They put the preferred agency and how much it's going to cost. It's something between you and your counselor that states what you're going to do, how much it's going to be, how long you're going to be there, and you have to sign off on it. And then basically if the supervisor approves it, which, well, 9 times out of 10 they do, then okay, then you can do the STEP program at the center, okay? But you have to advocate because some states won't let you come here because I have heard stories that some students from other states that want to do STEP program, they had issues and their counselors wouldn't pay. And that's when you would self-advocate and say, look, I want to go here because this is the, I feel that I would, learn a significant amount. And I would recommend a letter, a strong justification letter, because anything that you do with LRS has to be justified. But I would recommend that if you're out of state or in state, that you write a letter to your counselor. That way your counselor understands why you want to do this and how it's going to help you in the long run. Now, as for the high school students, y'all have any questions on that?
Yeah, Kofi.
Yes, sir.
I went to Scout Color. I didn't have to write a letter.
That's good. See, some counselors don't make you do that, but some do because some just want that extra step. I don't know why.
Like my counselor talked to Mr. Dillery and,
Who's your counselor?
well, I have a new one now.
Okay, you have a new one.
For the old one thing.
Okay.
But, and then, he talked to me and my parents and they didn't have to write anything.
That's good. All right, college and center students. What do y'all want to know?
If you have a counselor who is not giving you the required services that
Yes.
you need, what to do?
What do you do? Are you having problems getting services?
Yes.
What's the problem? You gotta expand on the problems. I can't help if you don't expand on
Okay, here's what's going on.
What's up?
I will ask my counselor for, say, a piece of technology.
it. Okay.
She will say, go get a piece of paperwork. I go find her a piece of paperwork, bring it back, and she says, go find another one.
Have you had a AT assessment?
Yes.
All right. So your counselor's refusing to get you technology. That's the problem, right?
Yes.
And you've done you've done what you told you to do.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk around the room. So what I would do is appeal to her supervisor. You have a supervisor's name and number, email?
I know how to get that.
Get it, email her. Get in contact with her and talk to her about the issue, because if you had an assistive technology assessment, and that assessment states what technology that they recommend, then she is supposed to get you that technology if you are enrolled in college. Get it? All right. Now answer that question. I mean, and if that doesn't work, hopefully it does. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you go to a supervisor, it works. Now, if it doesn't work, you can go all the way up to the regional manager and talk to them. Now, if that don't work, you can go all the way up to the person in charge. I don't know who that is, and I don't know. You can get that information. There's a website. I don't know.
I don't know, but I have a suggestion actually.
Go ahead.
Okay, because I think the letter writing thing it can be an important thing in college for college students too, because I know that if it's in writing, counselors will respond to that.
Yeah.
Because it's you putting your ideas on paper and saying, this is why I need it. I don't just want JAWS because I think it sounds great. It's this crazy voice talking to me. I really need JAWS because it is going to help me function in college. And what are the things that JAWS is going to help me do? And why is JAWS, what is better about JAWS than other programs? Because counselors, they need to justify why they're spending their money on us. And part of that justification is writing that letter. So whether it's you want to go to a training center, you want technology, whatever you want, I mean, you can write a letter for that. That assistive technology evaluation, yeah, that's important and that's what they need. They're going to tell you, well, we need this before we can do anything. But if that letter, because then when you go to the supervisor, you can say, hey, I wrote this letter, and this is why this is important to me. And have somebody proofread your letter before you submit it and look over it just to give you ideas. So it's a second pair of eyes or even a third pair of eyes.
I will say, Clay, that LRS, that there are costs. They're going to do what's the most cost efficient. I think it's cost whatever. Whatever technology you're looking at, I don't know what you want to get, but I would suggest hard that you do your research and do some comparisons. Because, for example, if you want, I'm trying to think, maybe like a HIMSS Braille Sense versus a HIMSS, the smaller
Like
version.
if you want a small 18-cell display
versus the 36, they're going to get you the 18 because it's more cheaper.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
But I've already experienced that.
Okay. Now, let's
Have
come
to
on,
do some
man.
self-advocacy.
All right, any more questions? Come on, man. Y'all got to open up, man. Come on.
Okay, you guys we have about 5 more minutes. think of your questions really quickly.
5 minutes? Ooh, I'm doing good on time. All right. Come on, any more questions?
Yeah, dude.
Steve-O,
what's,
you're the man with the question. What's up?
Shoot, what is it? It's about SSI. I don't know if this deals so much with
Ask and I'll
vocational
try to
rehab.
answer for you. What's up?
But what exactly do you need to do in order to start getting SSI? Cause
What do you need to do to start getting SSI, dude? Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. If it's an elementary question, I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
that's a good
I'm
question.
Kind
All right, okay.
of jumping. the bandwagon
I would
late.
suggest you go to ssa.gov, ssa.gov, okay?
So Sierra Alpha.
Dude, I don't got, look,
Golf,
all right.
Oscar Victor.
All right, okay. ssa.gov, fill out that application, okay? They're going to ask you to go into the office. You're going to have some required documentation, some doctors, medical stuff, and they're going to send you a whole application. It's a stupid application because they ask you a whole bunch of crazy questions. I'm going to be honest. I'm keeping it real in here. They're going to ask you if you know how to do this by yourself. Do you know how to, dress yourself? They're just trying to get a general idea. Now, if you live with your parents, you will get less. I don't know how much less, but they're going to, I don't know how they figure out that. That's the federal government. But if you don't live with your parents, you will get the maximum. But if you do live with your parents, you'll get less.
Okay.
But you need to get working on that. You got to have your state ID, Social Security card, fill out that application, going for that review. Call, because trying to get in touch with the Social Security people is like trying to get in touch with your rehab counselor sometimes. So you got to be persistent, keep on calling, just stay on them, because if you don't stay on them, they're going to forget, because to them, you're just like another case number. All right, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Perfect, great.
Thanks, bro.
All right, any more questions?
I'm wondering, like, as far as like assistive technology goes, do you have to be like basically the same way with that?
What you mean, like stay on them?
Yeah, like as far as them getting jobs.
Well, okay. With the scenario, if you're in college and you've written your letter, and if you've done your assessment and you've talked to your counselor and your counselor is not budging, so if you've done all these steps and your counselor is just being, just not want to respond, then you need to communicate. Like if she says, I'm going to call you back within, 2 business days, if she don't call you back within the 3rd day, you call her or you email her and say, hey, I just want to check on the status of this and see what's going on. But you see, that's another thing. You have to stay on your counselor. Now, that's another thing I was going to touch on before my time is up. That,
2 more minutes.
how many?
2.
2. Okay, good. So I know a lot of people came out of state to go to the center, and I know one person, her counselor supervisor did not want to let her go to the center because of some reasons or whatever. Some of your counselors will not let you come out of state because they don't want to do it. But you as a client have that right. If you submit your justification letter, you can go where you want to go if that justification letter is good and it's legit. They are supposed to let you go because that's part of the federal, that's part of federal law. Now, if you tell them I just want to go here just, for poops and giggles, well, they're not going to do it. But if you submit them a letter saying, I'll feel that this is going to enhance my independence and all that good stuff, then they have to let you do it. But I'm going to say, keep fighting and put yourself in that driver's seat, because if you're not persistent, if you don't advocate for yourself, then nothing's going to get done. So you have to drive your own car and do what you do. So with that, thank y'all.
That you were awesome. Thank you.
Good, all right.
Good on time. There you go.
One more thing.
What's up, Clay? One more thing.
We need to get them behind us. They are these social service agencies that Dr. Jernigan talked about in his many speeches. Yes, we need to get those counselors behind us, because if they're willing to help us at all, they need to know
That's
who we are.
Okay.
They need to see things from our perspective, and they need to know why we ask for the things we ask for.
But that's what I say we, because the student division is one whole thing. We as a division, that's what we have to advocate. And we have to talk to these counselors and educate them. Because a lot of them, see, I'm blessed and fortunate They have a good counselor. I have Gabriel McGrew. He's really good. So I can talk to Gabe, and it gets done. But he has experience. But a lot of these counselors, they're not educated. They don't have experience. So we, as a student division, that is what we need to do. Because if we don't do it, nobody else will, because we're the younger generation. You know, we are the students. If we want something done, we have to go out there and get it done as a team, not just one person. You know, we have to go, you know, to the office, maybe split up, you know, regions, you know, southern region, northern region, and take a trip to their office and talk to them, educate them, or have a seminar and invite them to the seminar and talk to them. Because a lot of them are not educated. And I think that if we educate them, then maybe we can, it'd be a smoother process, man.
Okay, that's awesome. And keep those things in mind. As you're sitting here, you're thinking, oh, as a student division, we need to do this, or we want to talk about this, because actually we're going to have some time. That's why